a lovely opening shot of me looking like Dr. Evil 1 million spices whilst simultaneously looking sideways at the screen to see what I was looking at. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Black Games. We're back. As you can see, Dan is going to be our correspondent from the desert world of Arrakis today because he is living the good life in a fancy place and so won't be here to die horribly in conflict. However, lining up to die horribly in conflict, we have our regular panoply. Panoply is a good word, yeah, of troublemakers and their characters. Bowden, remind us who you're playing. And
I feel there was some sort of segue expected there, and I just didn't get on it.
Probably die.
Foom is not going to die. Hello, I'm Odin Clark, and this evening I will be playing Foom al-Hut, a Arrakis-born Fremen, also closely associated with House Dargush, because that's where my dad worked. And in a totally non-nepotistic move, Foom is now the War Master in waiting for House Dargush and is about to lead this victorious and probably excessively bloody raid on an evil mountain, throwing the good troops of House Rachis into the meat grinder and then following up and claiming all the glory.
That's alarmingly accurate.
Yes.
Been reading your notes.
To the other side of my face box is Dan, who's playing our lovely spy master. We only have the one Dan today, so I don't have to differentiate.
Yeah,
which
you
Dan
don't have to
is.
say Dan 1 or Dan 2. No, there's only one of me today. And tonight I am playing Tarek Nesmafat of House Dargush, Mentat, and Spy Master extraordinaire.
Exactly what you need if you're going to go and stab up a bunch of dudes who don't know you're coming. And last but definitely not least, because he's the boss, it's Lewis.
If only. In life, as much as RPGs. But anyway, I'm Lewis and I am playing Dela Dargush, the House Baron of House Dargush, who will probably spend most of this episode standing about, scowling at like a fizzy holographic screen, very much like Leia.
Maybe some pointing.
Maybe
pointing.
Yeah, some pointing, looking like I know what I'm doing. Oh, this looks like it's not going well. Oh, there was a lot of murdering at that point. Oh,
beautiful
yeah,
thing
involved now.
About the Dune RPG, the 2D20 Modiphius Dune RPG, is that it allows for that level of strategic play as well. So there are lots of different kinds of conflict, one of which is referred to as skirmish level conflict, which combines some of the personal touch of a duel, but also some of the faction level conflict of warfare. So we can simultaneously have agents on the ground doing stuff directly, and then someone over a fizzy hologram saying, send the expendable red shirts to go and clear this corridor. Not that anybody's wearing red, because
that's House Rachis, just to be clear.
Because nobody has red house colors. House Rachis are blue and beige.
They're going to be issued with a kind of red scarf tabard thing, just so that we can differentiate troops, so that we don't incur friendly fire.
Smart. That is a smart move. Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of us will be.
But everybody will be in
desert
suits,
camouflage.
So.
Well, it's wrappings. You need the wrappings.
Yeah. Previously on Candy, what happened previously? He said, putting them on the spot, and everybody were like, oh God, we don't know what happened.
Dan one's not here. He usually does the recap.
Dan does the recaps. What?
Recovered from being stabbed?
Yep. There was a session of, and in fairness, Dan M, despite being the spy master and Mentat, was having some technical problems because you shall not allow thinking machines to exist. The whole reason for the Butlerian Jihad was actually Dan's computer.
Yeah, I
Still
can
not
see that
sure if
happening.
I've got
It's
under control.
manipulative thing.
Mm.
But yes, previously on Canley, we missed the fight between Muad'Dib and Phaedreltha Harkonnen because we were too busy having Countess Albana Rachis try and murder Dela Dargush at said fight. Only it turned out it wasn't her, but a Gola copy of her, because last we recall, she didn't have poisonous fangs and was capable of human speech.
I mean, that's some wonderful personality if you don't notice the difference between
The political marriage.
It does say a lot about their relationship.
The politics. But we've established that the Countess was taken from her room in our secure area by agents probably connected. I say probably connected, definitely connected to our enemy House von Mir, using possible some of our rivals and other disliked houses as a part of a little club.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, just such a
Jongler acrobats.
wankers.
I know, right? What a bunch.
You just know that they were like juggling.
Oh, there'd be a mime there as well, just for torture.
Yeah, there wasn't a door, but there was a mime in case they needed someone to open a door that wasn't there. But of course, House Taisheng assassins may also have been involved, but we keep forgetting about them because they're really good at their job, apparently.
They're slightly more impressive.
We're genuinely concerned about them.
Both Morgan and Foom just detest the jonglers. They're just
understandable.
Oh, such shit.
Jealousy is an ugly emotion.
Just not proper troops. Just come at you clown faced. It's just it's embarrassing.
I think you may have misunderstood the way I presented them slightly.
No,
but that's okay.
Understood
we'll go with
it perfectly.
It. Clown faces.
Yeah. They've got a little ornithopter that they all get out.
The Atreides play bagpipes. They just toot their noses into battle.
I distinctly remember it being more of a sort of graceful, acrobatic, knife juggling, silk scarf type affair.
It is not
and a lot
Cirque
less
du Soleil. No.
Clowns. And to that being, they have like little attack poodles that they can stack.
Yeah.
It's a very serious game for serious people.
Overly large trousers on their still suits.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I think part of my brain just shut down.
However, bed already.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's been a good day.
Didn't even have to jump in an alligator's mouth.
Give it time. Yeah, but it made such an impression.
Last session, we then we did our whole investigation into when, where, and how was Dela's wife kidnapped, because she's supposed to be from a more important house than them. But we are the Arrakis experts. This is the second time Dela's been to Arrakis. Fern was born here. You know, it practically makes you local.
And Tariq came along too.
Yeah. And it was established that she was snuck out through the roof using gravity lifts, following a signal from an abandoned sietch off out to the east of Arrakeen that we don't go to. It's a cursed place. The Fremen who once dwelt there became too close and too friendly with the Harkonnen and betrayed some of the deepest truths of the Fremen, and thus were reclaimed by the desert.
Eliminated.
But someone is using their sietch and had an ornithopter waiting that they were able to use to sneak out the real Countess whilst planting the fake one in place. So the decision was reached that Dela would manage the House Rachis affairs with their House Mentat and advisor, i.e. keep them busy so that it was clear that it was the Dargushes who were in charge of this, whilst sending his best people out to investigate this abandoned siege and find out what's going on. So that's where we will join our colleagues today, still suited up in the back of an ornithopter. One of you has an ornithopter, I believe.
We have a fleet of them, I believed.
That is also true.
Foom has one on his inventory, but we had a whole kind of...
but I mean, having one on your inventory is better than just a generic one.
Well, I'm partly saying that because I want to have more than one.
Yeah. Well, you've got enough people going that you wouldn't fit them in one.
Well, there's a few things that maybe we'll have a little pre-conference before we actually set off and do the whole Ride of the Valkyries approach on the mountain thing.
Oh, well, let's start there then with the
Barone!
pre-conflict.
I see you have prepared the battle room, my Baron.
Seemed like the most obvious place.
Excellent.
Especially to plan a battle.
My proposal is that we will encircle covertly the installation, and then we will go in and seize and try and take alive as many as we can, or at least some, if we can. But I would like to take the majority of our ornithopters, especially the armed ones, to ensure that no one is able to leave. No one must leave this mountain. No one must give further warning. If your wife is not there, then maybe she is further north in the strongholds, and they must get no warning that we are coming.
That seems like a fair idea. Maybe. I think briefly as I try and remember their names again, because I'm so bad at names. We could also ask our good friends from Gunnerux if they wouldn't mind providing a few more attack helicopters.
Ornithopters are excellent.
Ornithopters, to provide the screen that you would like around.
Yes, additional air coverage to provide the cap would be excellent, my Baron. What a good idea.
And in which case, if anyone comes out that we don't like, we can blow them to grief. But yeah.
Excellent.
Very well. Taylor, then. Let's communicate charmingly with our allies.
I'm real good at being charming, real bad at communicating. Communicate, and I think maybe power in this case.
Yeah. It's the first time you flexed on the Gunnerux, so this is a good time to do it. You have a positive relationship with them. They are friends, so they are inclined to go along with you.
And
so the difficulty will be 0, yes. But the quality of the asset will be reflected in the number of successes that you get.
I would very
or how much you want to bank in terms of momentum, because you said you were buying a dice.
Yeah, I'll buy a dice. Then we can see how much we generate to start with. Okay. That's not too bad. 3.
And a complication.
Which is not great, but you know.
Do you have anything that can mitigate said complication?
A communicating complication. Let's see.
That's battle and duty. Doesn't look like it.
Test to persuade someone. You may spend 1, 2, 3. I can make it a binding promise, but I don't think that really.
Yeah, that's not super going to help, is it?
Is it? No, not
okay,
really.
That's right. It just means that there is a complication that will arise.
Fine.
And I can't fit any more threat in, so it'll
All
be
the
more
foxes
immediate.
Are just too good.
It might be that they're not stealthy.
Yeah, they're just really loud.
So you can have the ornithopters and not be stealthy, or you can not have the ornithopters and be stealthy.
Can we
But
send
You have got, what's that? 1, 2, 3 successes, which is good enough to get a level 3 assets worth of ornithopters. So that's 3
Yeah.
decent sized troop carrying ornithopters that are armed.
Nice. I mean, I would prefer to have massively armed ornithopters with us so that, we can just make sure no one gets out of the mountain and escapes. So
Yeah, it does mean
cost
you could
us a
lock
bit
down
in
the mountain.
stealth, but it's also we're flying towards a giant mountain.
You want us
with
to
a
go in
bunch of
head,
troops.
Baron?
In fairness, if they've got even a single lookout,
Yeah, precisely.
any number of ornithopters are probably going to be spotted.
Like all our troops go in the distance. It's probably going to be a bit. Yeah.
No. I would recommend that we approach from 3 separate directions.
Okay, just make sure you don't get too far removed from each other.
That's quite clever because then it might look like you're fanning out to do a search pattern.
Rather than a murder pattern.
Yes, we have the 3 troop carriers come in hard and fast, and we have our own attack ornithopters as air cover to eliminate anything that tries to escape. And obviously House Rachis will have the honor of disembarking first. For they have much honor to reclaim.
Shall I ask House Goodorix for a bus to throw them under straight away, or
I'm sure Von Meer and the others can find a bus. Do we have any equipment that would enable us to capture assailants alive, but stunned, given if we are going up against House Von Meer, they have a distressing habit of poisoning themselves and everyone around them.
Really hard punching.
That's a little bit too close, my Baron. My beautiful face.
Well, you've got Kaylin's squad and your squad, both of which are capture and infiltrate, exfiltrate types. So you might have to rely on skill.
Do you want me to try and make an asset? Like a bunch of stun weapons or something?
I'll just hit them with a big hammer.
Tarek has a dart gun.
Tarek has a dart gun.
Which could be used to stun rather than kill.
Well, one of us does. Well, we'll feed them towards you then, Tarek, and then you can stun them. How about that?
Stand there.
Boom is kind of tooled up with the murder equipment more than
Yes.
anything else, really.
Yes, more of the stabbing.
But yeah, Dela also could create for you some kind of usable asset to help with capture if you want. Might be better. Your call, really. It's your mission. How do you want to play this? We've got heavy ornithopters coming in and encircling, ready to drop support troops on the outside, and then we want to drop a couple of smaller, faster ornithopters in from high up to storm the castle.
Oh, then we flush them out. Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm. See, then like something like stun nets or something would be useful to have with us. Then we could just.
Whom you would be aware that technology such as that does have something of a tendency to attract your Wrigley Desert friends.
Foom's kind of weighing it up. Going, quite like to.
That would certainly encircle the mountain and prevent people running away.
True. But so,
I'd see no downside.
They're not exactly discriminating in their dietary preferences.
Foom is now just getting the rope and the hooks, just adding to his own personal gear. Stun net sounds like a wonderful idea, my Baron.
Fair, this might be a nice, big, showy crash obvious show of force to make the Von Meer think twice. If we start flying in, blowing up mountains, and getting giant worms to eat their troops.
Seems very on brand.
They won't know what's happening.
Yeah. I will then try and use my house resources. Once per session, you can create a consumable asset that could reasonably have been brought with you from your house supplies. And
Okay.
I'll make basically, if I can, some kind of like stun net gun things that the troops can carry with them, or can be fired from the ornithopters or something.
Okay.
To attempt to.
So if anybody does step out of the mountain, you can just blast them with a stun net and catch half a dozen of them all at once.
Oh, there we go. Excellent. That means I can just kill the rest of them.
I mean, well, pretty sure you're allowed to. Like, very important looking people keep alive. The rest is at your discretion.
Yes, my Baron.
Okay. Anything else you want to prep before the drop?
Soundtrack.
I thought we were going with the Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's
Got to get
10,000
there
euros.
first, though.
Yeah. Well, so what the road tune's going to be?
It's a classic. Yeah, you need your road mix as well.
Uh,
We've got snacks.
do we want to do anything with our base while you're gone?
Keep it secure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Can we discuss running extra patrols with the Kiwa or Quinoa?
I was going to recommend that. They should also know that the Fremen in the streets are supportive and are not quite as innocently passing by as might first appear. So they are not to trouble the locals. They are, if not on our side, not against us.
Yeah.
If we could get in a
Okay.
store of apricots, I believe we could make some more friends.
Unfortunately, I just
Yeah,
brought
just
up
use
a
the
load
asset
of-
thing. On stun nets.
That's-
Think about apricots, you went with
Yeah.
stun nets.
could have done a whole side bit where we bring the Fremen over to our side a bit more. Had a whole adjacent desert power plot line there, but now we have stun nets.
Okay, Foom.
Yes.
Move and power.
Oh, good.
I know it's a good roll for you. Right, so we've got your asset thopters, you've got your own thopters, you've got troops to move,
Yep.
you've got attack vectors to plan.
Yes.
So I'm going to call it a difficulty 3 check.
Okay. I'm going to say this uses my focus of precision. Slightly tempted to push my luck and ask if I could use the discipline of subtle step. When I attempt to move, test, sneak, or otherwise pass unseen through an area, then I first extra D20 I purchase is free.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
It is indeed a subtle step. While it's not, sneaking through a marketplace on foot, this is, again, that skirmish level idea. This is you moving forces into play. It'll mean that your strike force doesn't get noticed because the others do.
Yes.
Then if they're
allows-
just flying a
Big
pattern that
brush
could
guns
quite
or-
easily be mistaken for a search pattern. Yeah, I'm here for it.
So I have 3. What was the number of successes I needed?
3.
3. How much momentum have we got? Oh, I'm just going to roll the 3, see what happens. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, it cost you both of the points of momentum to get the second dice. It's only the first one that's free. The second one still costs the normal amount.
Okay. Well, I'll take the free one. Yes, I'm using my focus. Dice gods, be kind. Dice gods, be very kind.
I mean, in fairness, you had a difficulty of what? You were trying to roll under a 16 or something
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
free extra dice and
Anything
foci.
under a 7 was...
Yeah, anything under a 7 would be crit. So those 2 8s are just really annoying.
But 4 successes, so you can bank a point
I
of
am gonna
momentum.
bank one of them, yes, because I think we're going to need it.
And Ride of the Valkyries your way out over the desert.
I love the smell of sand in the morning.
I don't know.
Should
I think
we-
it would
no,
be a
no,
more sort
like-
of Middle Eastern take on Ride of the Valkyries.
Love the smell of spice in the morning.
Spice in the morning.
Yeah.
And you can smell it out here in the deep desert. As
Ah,
soon as the doors are open so that you can sit there with the big gun in your hands, it's like, oh, spicy.
food's just like home. And whoever's close to him is like, did I ever tell you about the time? And they're like, yes, you did.
Yes,
Yeah.
undoubtedly.
Yeah, so many times.
You have like 4 stories, Foom, and you've told them all.
You're
Did I
only
tell you the
12.
time, the one about when my father kicked a sandworm? It's like, yeah, we've heard that from both of you.
So the 3 Gunnaruks troop thopters head out in a very subtle search pattern format in just such a way that on the right signal they could convene around the mountain. Meanwhile, your own ornithopter pushes the height ceiling as much as it's able to get up above them. And while there are no clouds to speak of on Arrakis, few people look up anyway because it's very bright up there. So you take to the skies and you head on up, moving out across the sands, vast rolling dunes of it. And they've seen a lot more traffic recently around here. There are hundreds of worm tracks clustered around the barrier wall, which is missing an enormous section taken out by atomics. There are Fremen encamped among the barrier wall all over the place. Sardaukar in little closed camps where they've been corralled by the Fremen. But that's all over there. You head out east across the open sands. And the mountain that looms before you in the distance is a great beige brown stone edifice. It stands alone and separate from dozens of others. It would make a truly impressive siege fortress, except it's very close to Arrakeen and horribly cursed by the darkness of the folk that once lived there. That mean no Fremen will touch the place now. Dan, you're the observant one. Do you want to
Make
get
your
eyes on before you drop in, or are we going to drop in and then go for the observation?
I think maybe getting eyes on with a pair of binoculars might be of use before we do an ultimate landing. So let's go with understand.
Yeah, understand. Very definitely the right one to go for.
And
I think probably
truth.
duty here.
Oh, duty, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 2d20. Yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Don't forget you can just click on understand and it does it in the pretty little window thing, but that's cool. That's 3 successes.
Oh yeah.
That's just 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this place has had some very definite work done. Solar panels on the side facing away from Arakeen. A discrete landing pad already in place up near the top of the tower where an ornithopter of this size could comfortably fit. Currently, there's nothing parked there, but you can also see that there is some evidence of fortification and increased technology in play inside the mountain beyond what is common in a Fremen siege. You've still got another success to spend or bank if you want.
Bank it.
There we go. 4 momentum in the kitty.
Oh, pass on this information to the Duke, highlighting the fact that this has. Where do I think this has been imported from?
It's kind of generic from out here. It's not
Okay.
really identifiable as a specific faction's
Okay.
tech, because at the minute it's a smoothed out landing pad and some fortification walls. Up close might be easier to tell.
I'll have to have a look at that later.
Do not worry, my detail-obsessed friend. We will get you close enough.
Yeah.
But there also aren't any spotters out, so it would appear that you can just call the troops in and drop in yourselves whenever you are ready.
My Baron, may we commence?
Sure. Go for
What's it called? Operation
Spill their water.
Operation Subtle Reference.
Extreme prejudice.
Operation Morning Dew, and then Foom keeps calling it Spill Their Water.
All right, so your Thopter comes in for a landing while the troop
Indeed.
Thopters begin to circle. I suppose you've got a couple of Thopters, haven't you? Because you're dumping the Rachis troops out of one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got your house troops in another one, and then your good selves, and maybe some of the investigators in a third one.
Yeah. Guess.
Okay, so the Rachis troops first then.
Go, go, go. Off you go. Go on.
Yeah, okay. So their Thopter lands. They deploy onto the landing field, secure the landing field, radio up that the area is secured, which means that your house troops are able to land. Their Thopter deploy the exfiltration team to back up the Rachis guys. Then their Thopter takes off so that yours can come in for a landing. It does only take one at a time.
Fine. Start effecting entry.
Rachis troops move up.
I want that door open by the time the third Thopter is down. Ding dong. Come to read the meter.
Okay.
The water meter.
Taylor, could you do me a roll for
Yes.
the House Rachis troops to not be horribly murderized?
Oh,
Shame.
they've only just got there.
I know.
They're just.
Give them time. They've got all this honour to reclaim.
Yeah, if they get horribly murdered, that's their fault.
So
Is it a
I'm
battle
thinking
roll?
it's a battle roll.
Yay.
And in fairness, probably duty here.
Duty. Yeah, I feel like they definitely have something to compensate
do?
for their
Yeah.
recent horrendous failures.
Yeah.
Does my any of my statement
Because
my
you're
battles-
commanding them, yes.
Yeah, the problem
So
is my
you
focus
could
is
use
a
the
dueling
reason
in
I
short
fight.
ways. But
Grab
I
the
could.
door.
I will. I will
Don't
use
die.
that. Battle tests. May re-roll a d20. Okay. I'm gonna grab an extra dice.
Okay. You have a difficulty of 2.
I would like them to survive, because that also increases the survivability of House Dargush troops. My focuses don't apply, but I can re-roll 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll re-roll the middle one.
A wise choice.
1d6, 1d20. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So 3 successes.
Okay, with 3 successes, then they do indeed survive. They move forward. Automatic defenses open up on them. Automatic weapons fire. Locks, keypads, but they are prepared for it. They are good at what they do. They hold their ground. They take a defensive position, return fire, deactivate the security perimeter that is holding the gate. And
I mean, we can let the ornithopters do that if we want.
also true.
Oh, no. Tarek said he wanted to examine the equipment.
Also,
There'd be more equipment inside.
It would mean kind of blowing up the door, and if there's anything valuable behind the door.
Like
I'm sure I can make do with whatever's left.
Do you want to bank that point of momentum, or do you want them to crack the door since they're there anyway?
If I can spend it to crack the door, we'll do that.
You can spend it to crack the door. So, in an attempt to recapture their lost honor, they not only hold the gate, take out the turrets, but also manage to get the front door open, which has been secured. A siege wouldn't normally have this level of security, and it is almost vault-like security. Big, thick metal doors, security controlled. So they bypass the electronics on the door, get it open, and are able to break into the siege. Or what was a siege, but is now looking decidedly more like a lab or a barracks.
Or both.
Fook's just going to lean over to Tarek and go, do you think they're trying to keep us out or keep something in? And then he's going to switch the main channel and go, House for cheese. This will be remembered. Carry on.
The House for cheese is still not sure whether that's a good thing or not.
Good.
Okay, so if they've secured the gate, then the next group to move forward would be your exfiltration team to secure the next location.
Yep.
Before they move in,
Yes.
since Tarek's back,
I'm back.
doors open. Rachis have secured the front door and the turrets. If you want to observe what's going on and take a chance at finding out some intel, you could do so.
Yes, Tarek will disembark if the opportunity presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
Ignoring the gunfire and the chaos around him, he simply steps off in a sort of very serene, emotionless manner. And I'm going to go with my understand. Did we say with duty?
I think on this one it's understand and truth, because you're
Truth,
trying to
okay.
find out intelligence.
The truth will come out.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Here you go. Oh God.
I mean, yeah, the 18's not terrible, and that's 2 successes. So yeah, this equipment, this technology is decidedly Harkonnen in origin. It's not entirely unsurprising, since they have a heavy industrial background and have been holding the planet. A lot of the heavy industry stuff is going to be theirs, but the fact that it's here is interesting. We do know that the Siege were allied with the Harkonnens. But it has the air of an outpost research lab barracks feel to it.
A siege allied with the Harkonnens. That is very odd, isn't it?
That's why they all died.
Yes, we had received that intelligence that they were expunged because they had grown greedy and fat.
And does it look like it's purely Harkonnen? Because
At this
not
point,
really,
yes,
like,
there is
lab
more going on
specialists.
inside. They're not lab specialists, but all we're at this point is the front door.
Well, we will continue inwards.
Sorry.
We need to find live specimens. I mean, victims. I mean, prisoners.
People to net.
Yes. Second squad, move up carefully.
Okay, Foom. How well do you think they would fare at detecting traps, not troops?
The exfiltration team, the second level asset, quite well.
Okay. So is this a move roll, do you think, or a discipline roll?
I feel like it's possibly more discipline. If it's command, it feels like discipline then.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Discipline and
They're
duty.
trained for this.
does it have to be duty?
It would have to be duty if it's going to pair with discipline. It seems
Okay.
the best choice.
All right, fine. Don't like it, but I'm gonna go with it. The 2 dice and does adaptation, my focus of adaptation feature here. We're adapting for siege combat rather than forest moon nonsense.
It's a stretch, but I'll take it because
Thank
I
you.
want you to win because you're the good guys.
Are we though?
I've
I'm
got
not
a
sure we've
reroll,
established that.
apparently. I don't know if those are a thing, but Richard has bought us all rerolls.
Oh, are we doing rerolls? We didn't do rerolls, did
No,
we?
we don't have to.
Uh,
We can just
I-
take the fail.
I mean, I can look for a thingy.
Nah, don't worry about it.
I can wait. I can spend 2 momentum or add 2 threat to allow you to re-roll your dice pool. It's called bolster.
Uh-huh.
That works.
There you go.
Don't give him any more threat.
You may use my discipline if you want, but I wouldn't.
Well, no, Foom's discipline is fine. It's the duty that's a little lacking, unfortunately.
Okay,
right.
but with a bolster, is that 2 points of momentum or 2 points of threat?
I mean, how much
take the
momentum have
momentum.
we got?
You got
We've
four.
Four. Take the
We've
momentum.
spent
They are
4
even
momentum.
Stevens at the minute.
You've got enough threat.
Yeah.
I
No
mean,
such
you're
thing.
almost back up to stabbing me in the kidneys threat.
It's true.
All right, let's try this one again. Ba, 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 ba. Yay!
Yay!
Take the 2 successes.
There we go. So with 2 successes, this place is riddled with traps. There are bombs. There are tripwires. There are sentry guns. Moving through this top level is an absolute slog.
Somebody's
But-
idea of fun.
Your squad seem to be handling it. They are able to slowly but surely move up, giving the squads behind them sufficient warning and preparation to be able to move up. Taking corridor by corridor, it is a very slow, hard journey through these metallized corridors that feel more like the inside of a spaceship or an installation than what you would expect from any kind of siege that you have any familiarity with. This doesn't feel like a siege. This feels more like a bunker.
This place has been severely transformed. I'm just going to call the heavy Orna troop carriers. Are you seeing any movement on the ground level at this point?
Negative. So no troop movement down here. We've got nobody coming out.
Stay on your toes. We are making enough noise that they must know we're here.
Received and understood. Over and out.
No one gets out alive. Apart from us. And by us, I mean House Dargush.
But after a short while of slogging your way through corridors, you arrive at what can only be described as a control room.
Ah,
A set
Tarek.
of consoles. It feels like almost like the bridge of a ship meets an ugly ass office. You've got a couple of side offices, you've got a number of terminals central to what's going on, recessed into the floor because that's sci-fi.
Somebody can find me the engines. I may well kiss them.
But yes, this is definitely a time for the brains of the operation to come in and start hacking, breaking into their files, accessing whatever technology they have going on
No,
here.
that's food
That's
hacking.
the Duke, surely.
Bad on there. We're just going to get, I don't know, House for Cheese to check the console for traps before I let Tarek near it.
Good idea.
Okay, the consoles are not trapped.
Go like, yeah, turn that on for me, will you?
Try that seat. Can you just try that seat out? Can you push all the buttons?
I see you too have studied the Harkonnens. You sit on the seat and there's a needle that pokes you in the bum that's coated in a deadly neurotoxin.
You know, the
Bloody
Harkonnens
fade.
have serious issues.
So you've got your passive scrutiny that you could use here, Dan. That'd get you one question. And then you could throw an understand and truth at this to do more if you wish.
Okay, so that would be understand. Or
Yes,
yeah.
understand and truth. And data analysis would definitely come in here.
When you submit that,
Mhm.
where does that come in? When you add the
So you click understand, you add truth, you submit that. It asks how many dice you're rolling.
yes.
If you're
Explain
rolling
that.
just two, then you submit it again. And then you'll get an extra success added on for your passive scrutiny.
Yeah, you have to click yes on focuses.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Yes, on focuses. There we go.
Ooh,
Hey.
wowzers. Okay.
All the questions.
All
Who
right.
did it?
Yeah. You open
Tell me
a
the whole
file.
plan.
The plan.
Okay, we don't like Dayla.
Okay, so breaking into their programs is child's play. For an intellect such as yours, no computer could possibly hope to rival your genius.
I thought they weren't allowed computers.
They're not allowed thinking computers. You're allowed
Just
stupid ones.
Yeah.
Stupid ones. Oh, okay. So it's just like an analytical machine kind of
Yeah,
thing.
there's no AI, and analysis is generally done by mentats, but there are
Yeah.
those who will use computers
Otherwise,
if
it's going
they.
to put me out of a job. No.
Yeah, this has all the earmarks of a research station. And indeed, clunking through some of the files, there's Bene Tleilaxu stuff in here, there's Von Meer stuff in here, there's Harkonnen stuff in here.
A bit golery
This-
to me.
Yes, I was going to say
Yeah,
this
this is
is a
very
den of
definitely
evil.
a
And this is certainly some
very
sort of
Gola-y location.
certainly a place where you could grow one
Yeah.
or be
Well,
researching one?
one would be a significant underestimate of exactly how many you could grow here.
That's
You could grow dozens
Could you
in
do
this
an army?
facility.
wow.
That would
You-
be horribly against the rules, but yes, you absolutely could vat grow yourself an army here.
Also,
Of goals.
whilst all of the houses of the entire Imperium are gathered and you've got a dozen golas at your disposal, you could fuck with everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
if
would
you
be
could
horrible.
replace, say, the head of a house, for instance.
We need to destroy this place off the face of the earth, of Arrakis.
I think that is an excellent plan.
Yes, but we also
But
need
you've
to know
also got a couple
exactly what's
more
going on.
questions banked there, because we could top your momentum back up to 4, or you can probe the files for more intelligence and
I'd like
further
to probe the
details.
files for more intelligence.
What you're looking for? What would you like to know?
What's the entire plan? And
who done it?
who done it?
Who was it? Where are they now?
Are there different kinds of golems? Golas, sorry. Golas.
Yeah,
Yes,
how
there
many,
are.
potentially
There are
would they be?
3 projects that this location is working on.
Yeah.
There's Project Foot Soldier, which, fairly
Pretty
self-explanatory.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
There
Might
is
keep that in our back pocket. Take some of that with us.
What you
Yeah.
want your super soldier serum, do you?
Save that for a later date.
yeah. There's totally brain farted for a moment. Sorry. Don't know what's going on with my head today.
Happens to the best of us.
Project Dayla's wife.
Well, there is a Project White Wedding.
Not Red Wedding.
No,
No.
in there.
That's copyright.
And the third one is a corrupted file that looks like it has had someone attempt to delete it.
Do we need to take this deleted file to more of a sort of computer expert, or is this something
No,
I can?
you could do it.
Then I will do it.
Sorry, I just had a whole Zoolander moment about finding the files in the computer. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so for an
Don't worry,
extra
I'll get
point
them out.
of momentum, you will be able to extract Project Doppelganger, which is very much as you suggested, or as Dayla suggested, an attempt to create Gola to replace heads of house, even if it's only in the short term.
But
I will pull this information.
the
I'm sure
chaos it would cause.
Yeah, I'm sure certain parties would love to see this.
I mean, to be fair, if House Dargush gets to go round and stab all of the heads of houses and gets a getaway free card, like, see, it was a goal all along. We saved you, actually.
Project Doppelganger
Dayla would
has
enjoy
been futzed with. Part of the reason the file's been deleted is that somebody who wasn't as good at running it did something. They've activated the program, but not in the way for which it was designed.
Possible that someone else has taken command of this installation.
Project Foot Soldier looks like it's been doing horrible things with hybridizing Fremen and Sardaukar. An abomination of the worst kind.
But still keeping it in our back pocket for later.
Right. Possibly the research, but the abominations must be ended.
Yes, film. They will definitely be ended.
Yes, Baron.
But yeah, that's what you can get from the control room. There are about a dozen floors inside this mountain, some of which are given over to living space, some of which are giving over to what they euphemistically call sample containment, several of which are the growth and maturation areas.
So do we now have a map?
Yes.
Excellent. We'll call
See,
the
right.
various squad leaders in.
Could we potentially investigate? Obviously, we probably don't know anything about how these things work, but try and work out what has been made here.
At
As
least
in
what's
who
the-
potentially they might look like, or find some information on that regard as to who they were trying to doppelgang and maybe how it ended up corrupted.
Well, they haven't managed to doppelgang anybody, and Project Doppelganger has been used to do something else.
Yeah, but like,
So we probably have to go
examine the
and
something
look
else.
directly to
Yes.
find out what's been done instead, because whatever it is, it's outside the parameters of this data set.
If we
Yeah.
can locate that lab, then we can make that a priority target.
Definitely.
I'm also seriously concerned there appears to be no staff in this installation.
Indeed, there do not appear to be any staff. And in fact, on that note, you would also be able to find a general evacuation order
Damn
set
general
back
evaluation
a couple of
my
days
arch
ago.
nemesis.
Before we arrived?
Yes,
As
not
we
before
arrived.
you arrived on Arrakis, to shortly after the
After the countess
fake
stabbed
countess
me,
was
or
discovered
yeah,
Discovered
That seems
by,
fair.
by stabbing.
and beheading.
discovered by biting and stabbing.
Always a giveaway. So then there was an evacuation order, and now we are heavily overgunned for an empty installation. Although I would still be cautious about the holding tanks and the preparation areas. There may be.
Well, I definitely want them examined because at best we're just going to annihilate the place, so we need to know where things are.
Tarek, does that evacuation order have any coordinates or any rally points embedded within it?
Parthag.
As expected.
It is believed that, or it's inferred from the evacuation order, that the personnel here are incredibly valuable and learned, and therefore not someone that you would just shoot in the face and go, and this is the price for your incompetence. These are the people that you keep hold of and you go, you'll do better next time.
Because you're very expensive.
You don't need toes to be a scientist, do you?
No. Grow some more.
Prove how good you are. Fix this. Cloner, clone thyself.
Right. Well, we should go and investigate the lab for Project Doppelganger. And then, yes, we must be aware of possibilities of biological horrors and the need to cleanse the area.
I think once you've finished your investigation and extract, I'm going to order the ornithopters to turn the place to glass.
You did get the extra big chunky Gunnarooks.
Yeah.
Multi-missiles,
We
troop
really want to
copters.
use them, mostly for show, so that people remember why
It's
they
a statement.
didn't fuck with us in the
It's
first
a
place.
demonstration.
Yes. In this case, it is a case of imperception. Don't even fucking think about it.
Okay, so immediately below this floor is the barracks level, the living quarters, scientists and soldiers, sleeping quarters, generally bunks rather than anything too fancy, but only two 2 people to a room in some of the rooms, and then
Fancy.
well, 8 to a room in the barracks rooms. You've got a common area, dining area. That floor is not really one that you're particularly interested in, but you do need to get through it, which does mean that you're going to have to sweep and clear.
I believe it's House Reducer's turn again.
Yeah, I mean, ordinarily it'd be Kaylin's turn, but we can reuse the Recheese for this.
They've still got more honor to reclaim.
Yeah. Okay, then, Dayla.
Yeah. What are we rolling this time?
I think still we're looking
Does
at
it feel
communicating duty or discipline and duty.
Discipline and duty.
And it would be battle, but they're not exactly fighting
They're not exactly
anyone.
fighting anything, are they? Yeah.
Just try not to get
Well,
killed by
anything
traps.
else that fits, no. They don't really have anything that can help them, but we'll go with discipline and duty.
Oh, if
we
it's
got one
discipline, can
momentum.
Foom be advising over the radio?
Yeah.
Because he's got that thing. Hang on.
Advisor, discipline.
Advisor discipline, yes.
Yep,
So,
you can re-roll a single d20
Right.
if it all goes horribly wrong.
yes. So Daly can reroll a single d20. But it's because he's got Foom in his ear going, no, not that way.
I will re-roll a single d20. Yeah, it wasn't any better.
That was worth it. A success. So you lose a couple of the Recheese guards to explosives, flammables, poisons on the way. About half of them go down. They don't all die. They do make it scarred, bit battered, and hard done by.
I mean, now they're just veterans.
Yeah. The floor below would lead to specimen storage.
Who's going in there first?
I believe we are really disappointed.
By
with
we,
it.
you, right?
Yes, of course. Tarek, please wait at the back. You could fashion some sort of flame-throwing device. I'd be so much happier about all of this, but knives it is.
Maybe a motion tracker.
No, those things are useless. It's beeper, you. Onwards, lads. Lasses,
Okay,
fellas.
Foom.
Yeah,
Into specimen storage we go.
yeah. Prepared for all kinds of horrors.
What do you wish to roll here? Because there are any number of ways of approaching this. It's more about how you go in than what's there.
Quietly, subtly. Something, it kind of feels a little bit like Move and Truth.
See, that's going in
Move
quietly
and
to see
faith.
what's what.
Yeah.
Just like,
Move and faith would also be a good one. Move and truth or move and faith?
Well, I feel so. Foom's statement about faith is believe in the will of Shohalud. His statement about truth is the truth is in the silence, which feels more appropriate because
Okay.
he just wants he and his sort of hand-picked team to move quietly into this space, not upset anything, and just make sure that they kind of get the lay of the land.
Okay. Go for it.
Move. Truth.
Difficulty here is going to be 2 because I'm
Okay.
not spending any more threat right now.
Okay, subtle
we've still
step.
got 3.
I know.
Because I'm going to invoke subtle step because he's attempting to sneak effectively. And focus of precision to do this smoothly and quietly. And if I still screw this up, I'll be very annoyed. There we go. Ding, ding, ding.
4 successes. Very good. So you get in, you find the traps. There are less of them here. Or at least the feeling that you get is that the traps here are traps that you're probably meant to find. So you feel good about having found the traps.
sort of comfort trap.
The specimens that they currently have stored, there are a number of dead folk who haven't made it through the last couple of days. In one of the cells, there is a very thin, very pale, drawn Fremen man with the blue in blue eyes, who kind of looks a bit blearily at you when you glance through the little window into his cell. In another cell, there is a man with the unmistakable bearing of a Sardaukar officer. And in the third cell, Countess Ilbana Richis.
Burn that one, obviously a Gola.
Obviously.
Just thermite through the window and run away. Secure the floor. Sub-Lieutenant, please escort the Riches house guard down here. Show them where the traps are. And get them to secure this cell. Do not let them open that door. Tarek.
I'm on my way.
Floor. Traps have been marked. Traps are almost decorative.
Needless to say, the Richis troops are very keen to get that door open and release the Countess. When she sees you through the door, she's knocking on the door, and you can see her mouth moving like she's talking.
We need to confirm that there are not additional security measures on this door. We also need to confirm that that is actually the Countess.
Okay, let's take a look at this door.
The asset we made last time, we made a permanent asset to detect Gola.
The
We
person
did, didn't we?
snooper, yes,
Yeah.
and Kaylin has it on her person. So it is available for you to use, which gives you the ability to use is this a Gola?
Okay, we'll do that after the door. It's just going to be a understand or a discipline.
Kind of
Understand?
depends on whether you're doing it all in one or door and then person. I suppose you could do the whole cell thing as one.
Okay.
So it would be discipline and truth.
Okay. I'll do that.
Boop's going to just
Also,
tell you
did
what
we
to do.
bank some momentum from?
Yes,
Fringe
please. I would
Fantasy
like
World?
very
Yes,
much
yes.
to use some momentum.
Yes, I don't think I needed all 4 of those
You
successes.
didn't need all 4 of those successes.
I will
No.
bank
So-
whatever I didn't need.
Okay, and then
Yeah, that's an extra
I'm taking
2,
a
but then
focus.
you're taking 1, so we add 1. You get an extra dice.
Get a re-roll as well, because Foom will be talking in
Okay.
your ear about how to do this properly.
Wow, that's a
Bugger.
good job on the
Well,
reroll.
Yeah,
Reroll
on
one
the
of them.
reroll.
Yeah, reroll
Uh,
one of those 19s. Just roll 1d20,
Okay.
the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way coming up.
2. So
Right.
very consistent.
At least you got that too, though. So
Damage like my reroll.
Okay, so the doors
Jesus.
are purely to keep things on the other side of them. They are cells, but that of the 3 of them, that is not a person. The Countess is a Gola. The other 2 are people. The Sardaukar, the Fremen, they're actual people.
but that's a Gola.
But the Countess is another Gola.
That's a Gola, and we should set fire to it immediately.
That's an idea. But we might also want to, swing the whole, hey, look, they're making golas of house heads, and just prop it up in front of the Emperor and go, this could be bad. Maybe, throw some assistance our way. Having a live, clear proof of the whole Gola program they've been running here might be useful, is what I'm saying.
I understand your
And
point.
at the very least, we can parade a Gola of the Countess Rachis about and pretend everything's fine.
Is it because you want to?
No, he wants a spare just in case the original.
No, isn't quite alive when we get there.
Politics, right.
It's a
Just
take.
until we, the Rachis aren't around, get to the whole pushing.
It's a good
the
job this is happening on a
other
private
air down
channel,
the
isn't it?
flight.
The house guard around.
Are you going to leave someone here to secure the floor? Or are you just going to leave the floor and keep going?
All right. If we leave someone to secure the floor, I'd leave 2 people because.
Well, I meant
I
squad
don't-
wise.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not leaving House for Cheese here because they'll just free the Countess because they're idiots.
Well, conveniently, we could leave Kaelin
All right,
That
yeah,
makes
sure.
the most sense.
and the police force here.
Yes.
Kaelin could secure the Countess Gola. And
Yes.
the
Secure the
Fremen
Gola.
Sardaukar, and we will evacuate them.
Do you want them out yet, or do you want to evacuate them when you evacuate everyone else?
Will they be running when we evacuate? That's the question.
That's
we need
entirely up
guess.
to you.
Seems very, very likely, Baron.
Yeah.
But
I
there
feel
are-
like we should probably extract them now and guarantee that we have.
It's another 10 floors to go. I mean, whatever food
We've
decides
got-
to blow up at
how
the
many
bottom.
ornithopters do we have on standby at the moment?
3.
Cap 3. You take one of those.
But you have lost half the Rachis, so
Yeah.
And we'll
there's at
lose the
least
other
3
half by the
spaces
time
there.
we're done.
I was just thinking
Fine.
maybe if we have the spare ornithopters, we could extract them and bring them back already, and then Kaelin could return.
Oh, that's a take. So Kaelin and her people bring these 3 back
bring
to
them
base while
And whatever data we manage to
Foom and
Tarek
Tarek
got-
continue further in
got,
with
and
the Rachis
have-
and Dargush troops.
That does reduce the risk.
then a clear bit of leeway to present when we go, hey, this is horrible. We might need some more troops for this.
This is tactically wise.
Yeah.
Agree.
Also, does anyone want a Gola as a head of house? Just we've got one spare.
It's worrying if someone says yes, though.
The next floor down is Project White Wedding.
Okay. Food would have been quite solicitous towards the thin Fremen if they're being let out and escorted out. Sardaukar.
Mm. The Fremen will tell you that they keep us here. They take our water. They feed us enough to keep us alive. They haven't been by in nearly a week.
And who are they?
Off-worlders,
Mm,
pale, smooth-skinned, water fat.
mm.
I really wish Vonmir had like a traditional garb with a big V on it or something, so that
Scales. Yeah.
it's them.
Everyone of them's got black hair and a widow's peak. Yeah.
In fairness, they would have a house emblem
Yeah.
because everybody has one in June. So
See,
yes,
that
he
would
is
be
able to
terrible.
describe the emblem of House Vonmir.
Food will spit, not in the good way.
I mean, that's more evidence in our favour.
Thank you, cousin. Go with these people. They will see to your needs, and you will be returned to family.
My thanks, cousin. This one, he points at the Sardaukar.
Mm.
This one will still need to see justice.
Right.
Kaelin.
Why?
He is Sardaukar.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't mind if he falls out of the back of the ornithopter on the way back. So, you know.
We are not here for a tribunal. We are here for justice, but not of that kind. But your words will be weighed.
You are my hosts. I will not spill his water. But if I meet him on the street, his life is forfeit.
Well, there are many streets in Arakun. Who knows who you will meet? Go with grace. We will meet soon. Right. Project White Wedding. Poop's starting to get twitchy. He just wants to stab somebody at this point.
Okay, Project White Wedding. The next floor down, then.
Doesn't sound ominous at all.
No, I'm sure it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's nothing to do with giant spiders. That's where my head went.
Much smaller project, this one. Higher level of security, very much more of a bunker feel to the whole thing.
Oh, good. How is it trap-wise? Why did no one bring a 10-foot pole?
Trap-wise, it is
All of the traps are pointing inwards.
utterly untrapped.
That's very suspicious.
Yes, you don't even have to do a test to find out that it's utterly untrapped, because that's how we roll.
It's just a big sign saying, it's fine. Yeah, fine. House retreats are going in first.
Oh, great.
Your turn.
Okay.
Don't touch anything.
They're already low on troops after being massacred a few decades ago. Let alone me getting a bunch of them killed now.
Okay.
See synopsis at beginning of episode.
Into Project White Wedding we go. Rachis first. The lights are off. Everything in here seems to have been shut down.
If you do, don't turn it on.
The smell is probably the first thing that hits you. It would be one that Foom would recognize. It's blood. It's old blood. There has been blood spilled here.
How old?
About a week.
Foom's doing kind of vintage. I'm getting last week. I'm getting several people.
As the Rachis guards start turning on personal lights and flashing them around, you can see this is a surgery room or a chandle house, a place of butchery, somewhere between the two. And when they flash the lights over the surgical table in the middle of the room, at first it's kind of hard to make out that what's there is a human body. Woman in her 50s, late 40s, perhaps. Off-worlder, water fat, quite well kept, well looked after. Impossible to recognize who she is from appearance because her face has been removed. She does have a House Rachis tattoo just over her heart.
Somebody better call the Baron. Baron?
Yes.
Just idle curiosity. Your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have any tattoos?
I think you might have found that out on the
Yeah.
wedding
I mean-
day, or while making either of your children.
I don't
Yeah.
think you. I mean, obviously you
Oh,
weren't
they were
particularly
twins.
close because you didn't notice she was a Gola. But
To be fair, no one did, so you know. I was looking the other way at the time.
just had
What's all of
no
your excuses?
conversation with your own wife for the entire day. Anyway, tattoo. Just satisfying my curiosity.
Would that likely be something that?
Yes, it was very definitely something that the Countess had.
Is it something that other?
Others
Richies-
probably would have had as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other distinguishing features that might help one?
The face.
Well, you know what she looks like.
The Countess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
What if there wasn't a face per se?
You're saying you found a body that doesn't have a face.
Yes. Well, no, that's what I'm trying not to say, actually.
Yeah, but it feels like that's what.
It does
Can
have a
we-
tattoo over the heart.
What would be the easiest way for us to confirm it?
Power up the room, use the person snooper to try and do a quick DNA
I think
analysis.
the person snooper is I'm not turning this room on. Derek!
You summoned me.
Yes, there's some unpleasantness in the center of this room, and I'd like to know who it was.
And I would very much like to know who it was because it will.
Are there any kind of sheets or coverings or anything in
Yes,
this room?
yeah, this is a surgical suite, so there are sort of surgical covers. that
Foom
you
is
put
going
over
to
people.
cover, give, and it's got no face, but going to give this poor dead person some dignity.
The chest cavity has been opened up as well, and the heart has been removed.
Excellent, that's nice. Can you cover that up?
So Tarek, I think an understand and truth here will do the job.
Truthful out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, you don't need to use the truthful out because that's the statement. So you want to use that if you're using
Okay.
determination. But it's only a
understand
difficulty of
with-
one,
Did we say
so-
truth?
Yes.
Submit. My focus. Hey,
It's the real Countess Richies.
used.
You can tell the Baron.
This is
Sir,
very much a
do you want me to tell the
personal-
Baron?
Yes,
Should I tell him?
yes.
Okay.
He deserves to know.
Okay, well, go on then.
Bing bong.
Oh, I have to do it, do I? Oh, fine.
Yeah. It's very quiet down there.
Baron, I have some difficult news.
Carry on.
It's a good job we've got that Gola.
This is, in fact, your wife.
Dayla will go very quiet.
Delivered with all the
probably,
tact a mentat can muster.
How long has she been
fairly
here?
pale and just scowl off into the distance.
How long has she been here?
Since the night she was taken.
Okay.
Although she wasn't dead until the same night as the evacuation.
Like a very wasteful tactic.
After a fairly substantial pause, Dayla will say, "Return the body to us."
Yes, she would be treated with all dignity, my Baron.
And then I believe he will ask one of his people that he has around in general to attempt to make a appointment with the new emperor.
Hmm. One of the investigators who stayed behind sidles up to him. Sir, there's something written on the wall.
What does it say?
It says, "Marry me, Dela."
That's ominous.
It's written in the Countess's blood, sir.
Yes, I had assumed. Is it in her handwriting?
Given the size and the amount of blood that would have been required,
Probably not.
no.
Excellent. Thank you. That's good.
Damn, we could really
On the
use a
guard
few
of the House
housemates at this point.
Rachis, you have a solemn and sad duty to perform.
They
Find
are
yourself
right
some-
outside, ready for you. Unless you
Fine.
don't want to tell them, of course.
Oh no, I'm going to
Well,
tell them. No, Foom is going
Wrap
to tell
her
them.
up nicely first.
Yes, Foom has already covered the body and
Sorry.
treated it with dignity,
Yeah.
and will fully cover it up. And will call in their whoever is left in their command chain.
House Rachis can carry her out.
It is my sad and solemn duty to inform you that your Countess has been brutally murdered by House von Meer. Her mortal remains lie here within this terrifying room. It is now your solemn duty to escort her remains out of this building into the Gunnerix ornithopter that has been provided and fly her back to Arakeen to be with her husband and her family. You are not to pause at any moment. You are not to be stopped by anyone. This is your final duty to your Countess. Do you understand?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Make it so.
Sir, should we inform the late Countess's advisors and have them summon the Count?
The Baron will see to the disposition. He is with those advisors now.
Yes, sir.
Your duty is to your Countess.
It will be done. And he snaps off a couple of quick orders, and they gently and carefully wrap the Countess and carry her forth from the room.
Dargush!
If we were a very different house, we'd murder them and insert a gola.
Now, hey, look, we saved the Countess!
No, Foom will be lining the hall with Dargush. Present arms.
I think you get as far as Dargush and they'd already be in position because they know you.
One of our own has been taken from us and has fallen. They will be avenged. This will be remembered.
Okay. With the grisly secret of Project White Wedding unveiled, do you want to proceed further into the facility?
Well, I mean, could it get any worse? Yes.
I want whatever is there we can use as evidence.
We will push on, my Baron. It is my wish to reach the heart of this evil and then to expunge it with fire.
We should continue.
Next floor down is Project Doppelganger.
Oh, goody. Okay, everyone choose a
20
buddy.
fooms.
Keep an eye on the person next to you. Beware the funny business. Tarek, hang on to that people snoper. Probably going to need it. And down we go. Skip, 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 skip.
Skippity skip. There is a warning as soon as you walk into the next floor. Warning, containment breach in chambers 1, 2, 3. The numbers keep going.
I think we can be assured that all of the containers have been breached.
Yes, all of the containers have been breached. Error during copying process.
Excellent.
Subjects may be erratic.
Weapons hot, boys and girls.
Confirm whatever it is and then get out of there.
Do you not wish us to proceed further down?
To the
Confirm.
reactor?
Oh, yes. Foom knows where he's going.
Confirm whatever is going on with Project Doppelganger, and then we'll see.
Yes, my baron. We'll move forward in twos.
With the sound of the door opening, you hear movement in one of the rooms. And as someone steps forward to see what's going on, a humanoid figure leaps out of the room onto them and just starts tearing at them with their teeth, growling and snarling as they do.
Stabby, stabby, stab, stab.
It's Countess Rachis,
Ah, jeez.
followed
How
seconds
many
later
should do-
by Countess Ilbana Rachis. Shitty copies, grey of skin, deformed of posture.
It's good we don't have a video feed, otherwise the Baron would be having
Feral.
serious issues right now.
Be like,
Blood around the teeth.
It's like, how many
No,
knives can I
no
add to
soul
my skeleton?
behind the eyes.
Give me an
Taken them down. Foom would like to stab something. Foom's wanted to stab something for several floors now.
This is a stabby shooty moment.
Excellent.
You may
Stabbing and the
engage
shooting.
the.
I mean,
Okay, so
at least you're killing them before they stab me this time.
Just
these
make more
probably
conversation
wouldn't
with your
pass
wife.
as well. This is definitely a battle check then.
Yeah. Battle and power.
Sure.
Stab. With the Chris knife. So that's my short blades. I have Chris.
Difficulty is 4.
Oh,
Yeah. But you've got
oh.
your team, you've got your Chris knife.
I got my team. What the
They
hell
don't give you any extra dice, but that's 3 higher target,
Okay. I think
which means that you're succeeding effectively on, what do you say, battle and truth?
Yeah.
That's 13. So you're succeeding on a 16
Okay, good.
and critting on a 6 or below.
Critting on a 6 or below. Chris Knife Master, making an attack during skirmish or duel. I automatically generate 1 free point of momentum. So I'm going to spend a point of momentum.
A wise decision.
Because as long as I hit, I then get that back. Thank you, Aaron.
And if you want, and this is a new scene, I can also bolster that. So if you fail,
This is a new
well,
scene
Let's see
because
how
it's a
badly
different
this
floor.
goes. Rolling the dice. Focus of short blades. Stabbening. Got 3 lots of stabbening.
You have got 3 lots of stabbening, so that could be a success at a cost. Wait, what was your extra momentum thing?
Well, I can spend 2 momentum or add 2 threat. To
No, I mean-
reroll. Oh,
there was
Spoon
a-
had a
the
thing.
Chris Knife Master, if I succeed,
Okay,
automatically
so-
generate a free point of momentum.
you haven't succeeded yet.
No. So this is succeeded cost.
So succeed at a cost and you'll end up losing troops. Your asset will be the cost.
Well, Yeah.
Could
No.
re-roll it.
Or we can add some threat, and you could re-roll one of the dice and hope you get less than a 6.
It's not much of a chance. I don't know. Baron, what do you want to do?
I mean, you can re-roll your whole dice pool.
Yeah.
And what is it? You got to get less than a 16 for a success.
Yeah. So I've
Less
got the 3
than a
successes.
6.
The thing is, I need 4 successes. That's the challenge.
Yeah. The chances are fairly good you're going to get 3 successes again, though.
Yeah. So we'll get the
But
same
we could
thing.
give it a go.
All right, let's give it a go. I don't mind.
Things that have not helped. My Roll20 window has just crashed.
Oh no.
But that's okay. I can still see your character sheets. I just can't see the threat window anymore. I need to remember that I've got 3 threat
You
instead.
now have 3 threat. Okay, I'm pushing the button.
We'll tell you what happens.
I get 3 successes. Oh, dear.
See, I told you there was a high chance we would keep 3 successes.
That's very true. There was something about a +3 at one point, but I don't think.
Yeah, it would take it to 16.
16, yeah. So
And that's a
the
17.
That is a
still-
17, so that's not going to help. Oh well, so 3 successes.
Looks like it's costing you your exfiltration team to deal with these feral Gola.
Well, that doesn't actually surprise me too much.
Probably very difficult to fight your way through a small group of
Yeah.
half-naked zombie countesses.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. Fine.
Oh, well.
That means we're basically being Tarek now. I think this might be time to take off and nuke it from space.
When you get from orbit, do we have any family nukes?
We
We don't
don't.
have any nukes, no.
Only the major houses do. The only nuke
Oh.
that you've got here is currently on the 12th floor down.
Yeah. That.
Foom would really like to push on through, but running out of foam.
We have the ornithopters. So we could just turn the mountain.
In fairness, you don't
mass
have to
run.
go floor by floor. If you did want to just try and go straight down to the bottom and blow the whole place, you could.
Foom is game.
Kind of comes down to whether Tarek is game as well, because Foom could get you there. You probably need Tarek
game.
to actually blow the nuke.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Whatever the instructions to whatever is left of the exfiltration team is to fighting retreat, and then secure top level, whatever the lift shaft is, ready for a rapid evac.
Okay. So Foom, you need to do a move and power roll then.
Move and power. Can I be subtle?
I don't think so.
Can't be subtle in a lift
In
shaft.
this
Fair
'cause You're
enough.
kind of cheesing it.
Yeah, all right. 2 dice then, and definitely precision of movement because 2 successes.
Okay, that's all good. And Dan, if you could do me an understand and duty or faith.
And duty and or faith. I think it's probably going to be duty.
Oh yeah, definitely. And your statement aligns perfectly with it as well.
I must blow up the reactor.
What must be done must be done.
Oh, so yes.
Do you have a point of determination? You could spend your point of determination, go along with your statement, and start with an auto crit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blow up a mountain. It's got to be worth it.
Wow.
All right. That's one. Which one of those? Well, it's basically it's an extra success.
Mhm.
That's kind of perfect, in fairness, because the extra dice from the last point of momentum you had left means that between you, you've got enough to overcome the remaining threat. So, Aldun,
Yes.
how do you make it down through the installation to the reactor? And then, Tarek, how do you overload the reactor in such a way as to allow you and Foom to make it out intact?
I can, if I may, just utterly world build.
Mm.
Foom will race towards the. So we've been avoiding the lift shafts and going down the secondary stairs to clear out the floors, but Foam will race to the lift shaft and grab two of the emergency grav packs that stand beside the lift shaft and just hurl himself and Tarek down the lift shaft.
We know they've used grav packs. That's entirely logistically possible.
And then have the not exactly flying, but the slowing of descent of those grav packs land them both on the final floor. At which point, Foom will just sweep and clear until such time as Tarek goes, "It's over there."
You're calling targets. Foom is murderizing anything that gets in the way. There's a menagerie of weird ape creatures down here, and he just cuts them down. Top left, bottom right.
3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Cardboard
Dan,
box.
you get to the reactor. How are we overloading it?
Well,
It's old world atomics. They've clearly been supported by a major house, likely to be Harkonnen atomics at work
given
here.
that, yeah. Are they painted black just to prove a point?
Yeah, black and red.
Brilliant. I think Tarek is probably, whilst he's been following and this vicious combat has been happening around him, he has been participating not at all. The violence goes around him in a whirlwind. He may occasionally move from side to side, but his posture is always kind of quite non-emotional. His hands are always kind of held behind his back, and he just kind of walks determinedly, hunched down, almost like a sort of 90s, 60s detective TV series kind of guy. He goes up to this nuke. He takes some Sappho, um, and he says the mantra. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of Sappho that thoughts acquire speed, the lips acquire stains, the stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. And he takes a look at it, presses the off button.
But holds it in.
Takes
It's not the off button you want to press, it's
yeah,
the
so he takes
explode button you want to press.
he takes it off, and then he kind of begins to rewire this old circuitry so that it will overload, giving them time to book the hell out of there.
So the last of the ornithopters picks you up from the desert sands outside. And as you fly back to Arakeen, you don't look backwards because cool guys don't look at explosions.
No.
I was going to say that.
The detonation inside the mountain is beautifully contained, and it causes the whole thing to kind of collapse in on itself. The mountain serves to shield the outside from the atomic, while at the same time destroying everything that was inside the installation and all of the horrors that House Von Meer were perpetrating upon the universe.
I think we'll also use we did that as part of our message to the Emperor. Hey, we might want to have a chat at some point.
Yeah, I think he's going to want to have a word with the people that set off the nuke in his desert.
Thus fall all enemies of House Dargush.
If we can get our hands on the Harkonnen nukes.
And I think with that, that will probably wrap us up for today. We've uncovered the true horror of Von Meer's depravity, the cloning and copying of the Countess being just a small part of the puzzle. Next session, get everybody back together.
Take all of that personally.
We're going to take all of that personally. And then
Payback's a
decide
bitch.
how we're going to remedy our little moral dilemma here and maybe plan a little jaunt out to Carthag.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, Eldath, that might have some connection to my obsessive playing of said game recently. So they did inspire the Golagul beasties.
The ferals, yes.
So join us next week on Goblag Games, where we will do the next, I don't want to say penultimate, because I don't know if there's 2 sessions or 3 to go in the story, maybe even 4.
Depends how fast we can get through murdering people.
This one did go slightly quicker than I'd anticipated, but that was good because the pace was important with the threat and momentum clocks going up and down like yo-yos. And yeah, so we'll see where we are next week, and we'll have a Kaelin back for that. We might just leave Dan's picture like that and make him talk from behind it anyway, but
It's like, I'll cut out
Reporting
the
live
and
from-
have it move.
He came in very useful.
this is Sandy Spice reporting live from Arrakis.
Don't know how you got that gig.
But we will see you next time. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Click all the buttons, press all the things. It has, as
Pleasure,
always,
everyone.
been a pleasure and a privilege. And we bid you good night.
Bye.
Be careful out there.